We're nearly at the end of January 2024. This week on Taking Care of Business, myself and Lewis talk about Dubai property launches, averaging one every single day.
I'm seeing more and more branded residences launching. So you've got Frank Muller, Mercedes-Benz, Bugatti.
And massive changes to golden visas in Dubai.
Property buyers no longer required to have the 1 million dirham down payment for the golden visas. That's now been cancelled. All you have to do is buy a property up to 2 million in value at any percentage.
Foundations in Dubai now reach over 1,000.
Why do I have a foundation? With a foundation, you don't die. The business does not die.
You don't want to miss this one. Check out the link below for Taking Care of Business. Let's do it. So we're nearly at the end of January 2024. My name is Carl Allsopp. I'm the CEO of Allsopp and Allsopp Real Estate, Dubai's leading real estate agency. And today I'm joined by an honorary member of So Solid Crew.
Oh my God.
The chairman of Allsopp and Allsopp, Lewis Allsopp.
Chair them.
How are you?
I'm sitting next to you. I've got a coffee. Sun's out.
Look very comfortable as well.
Okay, that's enough of my outfit for today.
So we are nearly at the end of the first month of 2024. Lewis last week had a really good podcast with Jean Jahenki from Property Monitor, talking about all things Dubai real estate forecast this year. I really enjoyed it.
Someone's got to.
We're going to have our version of this, the Allsopp and Allsopp Property Report. We've got a few things that are in the news in it that perhaps not everyone knows about. So we're going to talk about that today.
I think we'll just give people a sneak peek of what we're talking about. I want to talk about the eviction notices in Dubai, how that has changed in the laws, where the hotspot on the goldmine we think is going to be, new branded residences like the Bugatti, the Mercedes-Benz, how that affects the property market, foundations in Dubai, and also IPO booming happening at the moment. So let's get straight into the nooks and crannies of the real estate market. I'm seeing more and more branded residences launching that are nothing to do with hotels. So you've got Frank Muller, Mercedes-Benz, Bugatti.
Okay.
What's your independent thought on these?
Okay, so not speaking as a real estate agent, I'm saying as an individual now, me personally, me investing, I would not buy anything branded unless that brand has history of service, such as a hotel or like...
Wow. Very controversial.
Very controversial, but I would stick to anything that's got a previous experience in hospitality.
See, I would buy in them. So this is my theory of branded residences. When you talk about Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, Frank Muller, they're going to be hiring the best people in their business, the F&B, in the services, etc. When you talk about these brands, people will follow these brands. So yes, they don't have a massive background in the F&B world and the hotel world, but what did Armani have before the Burj Khalifa?
I know, but my view on the brands is like, so certain brands I'm always drawn to. Like, I love Apple.
Okay.
Anything Apple. I like Google stuff. And then if I look at brands of cars, I like Tesla, I like Porsche, the stuff that you're really drawn to. Yeah. I don't love Mercedes. I don't love Bugatti. But what I do love is Nobu. Because I know if I go to Nobu, I'm going to have a lovely, relaxing experience.
You're missing this though. So I sat down with an Indian billionaire 5 days ago, so Friday last week, and we were talking about what car I've got and where he lives. His whole generation of friends, a billionaire, has only ever drove a Mercedes. Every one of them.
Really?
Every one of them. And I was like, well, what about these cars? Like, no, our family, they're reliable. I was like, but you're a billionaire. You can have any car you want. So I think...
Yeah, but he likes the Mercedes brand.
This is what I'm saying to you. So I do believe there are people that are going to be drawn. So one of my friends who is French, he lives near where we live. I just seen a couple of weeks ago, he bought in the Bugatti tower. So maybe you don't like Bugatti, but I know this guy's got a Bugatti car. He's bought into the brand. So I think what's going to be interesting with these branded residences, forget the service. I think everyone's going to be hiring the top advisors at that level. I think that if you're drawn to the brand, I mean, the question I ask you, would you buy an Apple apartment if they launched it?
Probably.
Would you buy an Apple car?
Yes.
Okay, so you were bought into the Apple brand.
I like the brand, but what I know by buying branded residences, whether hotels or hospitalities, I know if I buy there, everything around where I'm living, it's gonna be good.
But you've just told me you're gonna buy an Apple residences that have no.
But I look at Apple now, so we've got Max, right?
Yeah.
What do we buy Max? because it's easy, because it works. The experience is great.
Can't tell me Bugatti isn't going to offer that in a car now. In a car.
It's fast. It looks lovely.
So, and it'll be probably reliable. So what is the difference between a Bugatti apartment and an Apple apartment to me? It's because you like the brand. That's it.
There will be buyers there. Me personally, not for me.
No, I get that. But there are a lot of people that are. So branded residences, my take on it is, I think people are using their pull and their power. In fact, I've just seen in Paris, I don't know if you've seen it or not, they've launched the Louis Vuitton hotel.
Really?
Would you stay there?
Yes.
So would I.
100%.
And they have no pull power in hospitality.
What about the Marvel Hotel?
I've stayed there. I love Iron Man. It's my favourite man.
Yeah,
so
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So we're saying brand power, regardless, has its pull. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out, because it's still quite a new thing. Over the next few years, how will resale factor be? Will it age? Will it age well? How will the services be in there? So we're really intrigued. It's quite a new thing in Dubai. I actually think it's probably something here to stay.
I think that's Dubai. I mean, there's lots of new pulls to Dubai. And one of them, which I want to talk about very quickly, was the Globe Soccer Awards that I went to last week. So the Globe Soccer Awards, I was sitting in the crowd with probably about 700 people, and they were football agents. So there were some of the most high-powered journalists. So if you like football, I was sitting in front of Fabrizio Romano, just in front of me. Guy's got 25 million followers. He was tweeting in front of me, telling me who's winning awards. And then we had Haaland and Pep Guardiola, and Ronaldo was there. The star power Ronaldo has, by the way, is just insane.
Any awards for you?
The highest height of CEO, 195 centimeters. But the reason I'm saying that is Dubai is bringing so many world-recognized brands and awards. When you can get Cristiano Ronaldo sitting on a chair collecting his award, who's got 650 million followers, more than all the Kardashians put together, the pulling power Dubai has with these brands at the moment is just insane.
Did I see somewhere he has or is potentially buying in Dubai?
It's bought in Jumeirah Bay. Not through us. I'd love to say it wasn't. The only reason I knew is I've seen on Daily Mail. Shout out Daily Mail.
Great source of truth.
No, I saw the photo, so no one else would know that, but I know he's on what they call billionaire row, isn't he? That's what they call it, where me and you will never be.
No, you never know.
You never know. If you buy the Apple house, it might go up in value.
But then it's interesting what brands do and what brand power does, and it's amazing to see what else might come. I'm all for the Apple Hotel.
You're in,
man. I'm there. Take me.
Got your checkbook out. Do you think, when you talk about real estate, do you think brokerages and businesses have brand power? Do you think people would join Allsopp and Allsopp because we're Allsopp and Allsopp?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason for it is, I think, certainly our clients, so they deal with us, they know that we're trustworthy. They know from podcasts or meeting me and you that we're good, straightforward, honest people. We always try and think outside the box and do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I think that definitely stands its test of time. But, looking at us now, we've been here a long time.
So brand power in business is a thing you think exists?
Yeah, look, there's a reason why Manchester United is still one of the richest clubs in the world, despite being incredibly unsuccessful. The brand we've got is unbelievable.
Yeah, I get that. At one point, they had their own tomato ketchup.
I do remember that.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
I do, yeah. Not quite a highlight there, branding, but brand power is very, very big, very, very big.
Okay, so activity in the business 2024, the first month out of the way, one of our record weeks we've ever had, 2,400 viewings in a single week of activity as a real estate brokerage. What do you see in the real estate market for the first 3 weeks of the year?
It's really boring talking about records, because I think clients in general are bored of seeing all the news. Dubai property prices are going up. I think it's no secret that there was about 5 or 6 weeks last year was a little bit quieter towards the end of the year, with certain things that were going on around the world. And this year is mind-blowing. The amount of people, forgetting the deals that happen, the amount of people, they're in their cars going to view houses. So that tells me that there's still a lot of appetite to buy, sell, rent, invest in Dubai. I measure the activity in Dubai us really on the ground of how many people are actually going out and doing viewings, and numbers are frightening. And it's actually week on week. So I one-off every single week so far. We've had mind-blowing numbers,
and that will obviously have a knock-on effect later transactions.
Okay, so some of the things that happened in the property market at the minute, I think you've got a couple of news stories that we want to talk about. One was to do with notices.
Yeah, this is a big one. So we've genuinely as a business, we've had a couple of issues with this where We've sold properties. We've been given eviction notices to the tenants. New buyers have taken over the ownership of the property, and tenants have tried to fight in the courts to say, hang on a minute, your old owner gave me notice, so you need to reset this notice. And I remember going to the land department about 6 months ago, guys, you need to fix this because people putting their life savings into properties, and tenants were trying to fight to say that they did the 12-month reset. Now, off the back of that, I went on a podcast with the land department about, I think it was at the end of the year, wasn't it? December last year. And the new rule was announced. And this new rule stated that the eviction notice is now attached to the property, not the person, meaning that if you vacate that person, they have to follow suit with the property.
Which is absolutely amazing. We've had a couple of sticky situations, and I'm sure many brokers in Dubai have, where property's been sold, notice has already been given, the ownership of the property is transferred to another person, and historically, that notice had to be reserved, reissued, which means another 12 months on top of the whole transaction. Now, that notice will continue. It will be linked to the property.
Yeah.
It will be great for many buyers that are perhaps looking to, you'll probably see more vacant properties coming up over the next 6 to 9, 10, 12 months where people have issued notice knowing that it might be out in 6, 7, 8 months' time. So I think it's just good for the market to keep moving along. So
not locking them in the house for 5 years and keeping the cheap rent.
And it's something that probably around the world is probably very commonly done as well. Like the notice is linked to the property rather than that individual.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've had I'll leave it at this. We had a friend that bought a property from us, and, this guy, wife with 2 kids, put their life savings into the property. And he come to me and was like, what the hell has happened here? And I was like, look, we've given notice. It went to court. This is 2-3 years ago. Had to rent a place. The tenant wouldn't move out. And it was just, I remember it being an absolute disaster. Now, the end story to it is he bought it 3 years ago. It's gone up 40% in value. So it ended up being a good move. But I remember thinking at the time, I was like, this needs fixing. So in short, tenants, you have to move out irrespective of the seller sells it if you're given notice, because it's now linked to the property.
I just love how about Dubai though. So obviously we've been in business 15 years now, 15 and a bit years. The amount of change in the last 2-3 years is incredible.
Yeah.
And clearly they're listening to people, in land department, brokerages, who it might be. So I'm really pleased. Very, very welcome change.
Okay, so let's talk about the next one. That's a big one. Property buyers no longer required to have the 1 million dirham down payment for the golden visa. So that's now been cancelled. All you have to do is buy a property up to 2 million in value at any percentage,
regardless of whether it's on a payment plan or mortgage. This is Dubai government. Well done. Very, very
such a weak clap, by the way.
Very smart. I don't want to give feedback here.
Okay.
So smart. Clearly, obviously, they've done it in stages to make sure there's no backlog. Everyone can get a golden visa. The reason they've done this is to basically get more people on a golden visa. Guess what? More people on a golden visa for 10 years. What are they more likely to do? More likely to stay in Dubai for longer. I think it's very common that every 2 years, 3 years, if you have a visa, historically, people kind of review their living situation in Dubai based on their visa. If people are here for a longer period of time, it means it will be a huge contributing factor to population increasing. I think in your podcast last week, population was up, 103,000 for the year last year?
5,000, I think it was, yeah.
Which is 3%, which very, very good numbers, but they need their numbers to continue like that for the next, 15 years into the 2040 plan.
Look, you want to plan your years, 5 to 10 years, not every 2 years your visa run out. Hope that you get a job or stay in your job and keep your visa. So I think it's a great move. I mean, me personally, I've got a golden visa. Linked it to one of my assets. Kids are on it. Wife's on it. My visa runs out in 2033. I'm not thinking about anything else. Dubai is a 10-year plan.
Not just nice. Not having to go to your bank and submit your
do runs out
again. Do runs out. So just to be clear, if it's new news today, so 24th of January, if you bought a property over the value of 2 million dirhams, no minimum amount of money you need to put down, you can qualify for a golden visa today. So speak to your employer, speak to whoever to try and get this done, get yourself a golden visa, and get yourself locked into Dubai.
So you could effectively go and buy from Danube today.
Yes.
They buy a 2 million dirham property to launch, and you do the 1% down payment, and you get the accrued in your name. Correct. And then you can have a long-term visa.
You want to buy the Danube? You signed up today?
I'm in, mate. 1% now. I was at 20,000 dirham, 1%.
Yes.
Lovely.
A month.
Ugh.
Every single month. I was just reading a story a moment ago, anecdotally, about developers. So our off-plan, head of off-plan will just come into the room and just talking to us about what's happening. 25th of the month, 24th of the month, so 24 months of the year, he has told me that on average, a new launch every single day this year. New launch every single day this year. So launches aren't stopping. What I have read, though, is some developers, and probably smaller independent ones, are being very creative or flexible on payment plans. So, again, just a news story I've read. Some are offering buybacks. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I talked about this on the radio. It's the people that are offering it, you've never heard of. And I said this, did you listen on the radio or not?
I always listen to you.
Did you actually listen?
No,
I said.
please.
So I said about this, if you have a developer offering a buyback scheme, I'm going to put this into context. If Emaar tried to buy back all the stock on a guarantee for every person that launched, they would go bankrupt.
It depends what the deal is. Though. They agree to buy back at the purchase price, and the market goes up.
Yeah, but they're only getting 30% net profit from, or 40% net profit from the build. Then they're going to buy it back off you for 100% of the value. They go bankrupt. No one can do a buyback guarantee.
I don't get it. Maybe it's just their way of kind of...
It's a sales tactic.
Yeah, it is. It's putting the buyer's mind at rest. Say, look, we'll buy it off you. If you buy it, we'll buy it off you. I see straight through it. If I'm honest with you, I don't really like it. When you're buying something off plan, the first thing I look at is developer, track record, location. How often do they deliver on time? I have quite a few off plan properties, and so far, for me, my experience is most developers go over the time frame.
Even the well-known ones. I've got one handing over very soon. In a branded residences, and I've been delayed twice. I mean, only a month, but it's still annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very annoying. So just be very wary of just create. I get why developers do it, and go and meet them, go and see the site office, but just be very wary of too creative payment plans. Sometimes it might sound, if things sound too good to be true, they very often are.
Okay, so the gold rush for Dubai. Where do we think the next gold rush going to be? We've forecasted commercial. Mm-hmm. We forecasted off a plan of years ago in branded residence, which we still believe is hot.
Yeah.
I believe where the money is in the future, and hear me out, don't shoot me down before I say this.
Okay.
Palm Jebel Ali.
Yeah.
Okay. So we sold a villa there last week. I think it was 33 million for, I think it was like late near 100 number. That villa, if you put it on the Palm today, is probably sitting at 60 million. That's realistically what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But what I like is not the Palm Jebel Ali. Palm Jebel Ali is one of them, but next to the Palm Jebel Ali is Dubai South. Now, Dubai South, at the moment, people go, oh, it's a little bit far out. But when Palm Jebel Ali hands over with the hotels and the restaurants, everything that comes with it, this makes Dubai South a central location to that. So I think Dubai South and that area is going to be a hot area.
I don't disagree. I mean, look, I think over the last couple of months, we've perhaps sound like crypto. People like hyping up areas, but obviously we talked about Ras Al Khaimah being a hotspot, which I think we still believe in years to come when the casino hands over. We talked about commercial, which we still believe true because there is such a lack of availability. But there's a huge opportunity. Abu Dhabi side of Dubai and running up to Expo, it's really quite untapped at the moment. There's a lot of launches, but not a lot built. So, if you have the stomach for a slightly longer term investment, there's definitely an opportunity there in the next few years for someone to make money and capital appreciation, and also something that went really well. That what they're doing around Expo, encouraging more businesses to go in there, head offices go in there. Naturally, people are going to be want to live close to where they're working.
Well, let me tell you now, Expo, it's a ready-made city. Okay, it has the infrastructure, the roads are there, they have an unlimited amount of parking, really. So investing there, I mean, honestly, if someone offered me the opportunity, I would invest there. I mean, the infrastructure is there, which is the biggest part of a development. So I think that's very exciting. There's lots to go around there, but yeah, my message is Dubai South. I think that's where the money's going to be out, or the Dubai South area. You that interested that much, did it?
I'm just looking at Dubai Expo City. Just looking at some of the apartments. Very nice indeed.
What's that one? Sky
Residences. It's just, and they're putting their name on it. Expo City building themselves, or part of it. Payment plan's very good, very flexible.
50% year,
10% down.
Look at that.
35% during booking, during construction, 5% handover, 50%. you're getting 50, if you're getting any post payment plan and it's a decent developer, have a look at it.
It's hard to go wrong with post payment plan. I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it? Really, you're 50% post payment.
Well, they say about leverage. Yeah, you're leveraging time, which is huge. I think you're the flexibility to be able to afford something is huge. So
if you put 50% down on that, yeah, and then you rent it for full rental value, you will effectively double your yield. So if you were getting 7% yield, you'd end up at a 14% yield on money down.
Correct.
So, I mean, post-payment plans are absolutely brilliant for me. So, Carl, will be buying an Expo City in an hour or so.
One for you, one for me.
Yes, please, sir. Okay, and the final thing I want to touch on what I've got on here is just about the Dubai economy and what we've seen with the IPO boom. Have you seen any of the big companies do any IPOs?
Yeah, so in the last year, from memory, was DUI one of them? We've had Dubai taxis. Yeah. Do you know why it's so smart? It's allowing people to have skin in the game in Dubai itself.
I agree.
All of these government owned, they now say, look, you can be a part of the city's growth, or you know what's happening here. It's really smart.
I love the investment into DIY. I laugh about it. I mean, has your DIY bill gone up over the last couple of years?
Not really.
Mine's probably gone
Little
up
bit.
like 15%.
Yeah, a little bit.
But if you're DIY and you increase your cost, hypothetically, you increase your profit, which makes it on a public listed company, you can. It's a no-brainer investing in DIY, isn't it?
But population growth, 100,000, 105,000 people joined last year, 105,000 people need a home. All of a sudden, your multiples of DIY are increasing straight away.
So I think that's the one thing that's let Dubai down over the last 10 years is they've not managed to get a real good stock exchange going with smaller IPO companies hitting the stock market. And I think with these companies coming in, I think it'll create more confidence for people to get involved.
Making it more accessible. So I don't want to sound like we're promoting something, but there's a bank called WEO Bank, which I just kind of jumped on and seen, what you can do there. And I've just opened one myself, actually. And they're now allowing you to do easy IPOs, Dubai IPOs through their app. So just goes to show that generally investing in Dubai, previously thought it's been quite difficult. You have to go for a broker. Now you can do it on your phone, which is amazing.
Yeah, the ease of use of Dubai. Everything has an app. I used the Dubai police app the other day just because someone pranked my car. Yeah. It's just like picture. Do you remember a few years ago? You have to wait for the police on the side of the road and they will come and do a report for you. Everything is so easy in Dubai. And that's why I think doing business in Dubai and why people are moving here, the ease of Dubai.
I think one more thing we haven't talked about, foundations. So we have done a podcast since a year ago. If anyone doesn't know what a foundation is, it is an entity which really is for legacy planning, for investment purposes. And what a foundation is you can have them in DFC and also Abu Dhabi global markets. We have foundations that kind of house our real estate assets. Foundations are actually still quite a new thing in the last couple of years. And in the last 3 years, they've gone from 0 to 1,000 foundations. So clearly there's a big pickup with whether it's family offices, big investors that are looking to really place their real estate assets in this foundation. And in the event of anyone passing, that foundation continues to kind of survive and thrive.
If you're in the UK or US specifically, let's just use them two well-known economies. If you talk about the multinational investment companies, they wouldn't hold it in their company. That for asset protection, for taxation, they hold it in a foundation that's structured in a way where it protects the people and the businesses. So seeing foundations for coming into Dubai, I think it's enabling a different type of investor. So, I mean, what a foundation used for, let's use me as an example. Why do I have a foundation? I had a will, and that will obviously was in place. But if I die, touch wood, not anytime soon, my assets will freeze. They'll then have to go to the court to figure out to allocate them to my name. With a foundation, you don't die. The business does not die. What happens is someone else takes over. So you have something called a letter of wishes. And this letter of wishes sits with the foundation that in the event that shareholder A dies, them shares are passed on to the next person. They're not even shares. It's just a succession of people. When my wife dies in 200 years, my kids take over, and that will continue. You can create rules such as if your kid's 18, they get allocated amount of money. So it's a real flexible way of keeping succession within your asset base.
Again, huge kudos to Dubai. Just within 3 to 4 years, there's been zero foundations, and they've been able to recognise that in DOFC and Dubai Land Department to be able to own assets. So if anyone wants to know more about foundations, we've got some really good contacts. Got one person in particular we recommend you having a chat to. So it'll be very
Slide into our DMs, we'll introduce you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. We'll keep you updated on the Dubai property market news and anything you need to know that's related to the real estate market.
Taking care of business. That's a wrap. Peace out.
Bye.